we're going back a little bit to this whole business of muscles and how they work and how they overlap. And it's going to come into the standing Qigong. It comes into it comes into everything, frankly. So what I want you to do is I want you to put a left or right arm, doesn't matter which one you use, stick it out here. And I want you to lift your wrist up so your palm's pushing something. And just put it out the side here. Okay, now what I want you to do is I want you to really, really push hard. So you're hyperextending your arm if you can. I actually can't hyperextend my arm, but I know some people, when you do this, they can actually make this come right up here, so the arm looks like it's upside down. Yeah, they can do that. So if you can hyperextend, please do for just for a second. It's not good for you, but it won't hurt for a second. So here, when we do this really hard push, you can change, you can do the other one if you want, doesn't matter. So when we do this really hard push, relax a second. So when we do the very, very hard push, now that would be what I would call a comfortable natural position, but I'll explain that more in a second. This has now gone into hyperextensive mode. Okay, we've gone beyond. And this muscle here has been really tightened, because this muscle underneath has gone even more tightened. Now, that doesn't explain very well what I mean. So if you're going to push, as a bad explanation. So if I'm going to push something out really hard and make this lift, in order to do that, what I've had to do is tense the underside of my arm. Yeah. So if I push out here and I've now go further, okay, this has had to really lock up here, right up at the back of the arm, right down into the forearm here, and possibly even into the heel of the hand. So in order to get this to lift up as much as I've done, I've had to super tense that. Now, the result of doing that super pull underneath the arm, making that appear to stretch more, is that this has now gone tense as well. Yeah. Now, if I'm going to pull something, so I put my hand on a rope or whatever here, and I'm going to pull it, and it's very hard. I make a fist and I go, oh, hard here. Okay, this is the muscle I'm trying to tense. I know this might be very obvious to some of you, but it's going to go somewhere in a second. Okay, so when I pull here, this has gone really tense. In order for this to bend and go tense, this one had to relax. Yeah, but if I'm really, really tensing, I'm actually tensing everything now. So I'm almost fighting myself. So when this tenses, I don't really want that to be tense, because if I do, it doesn't allow that to do that as much as it did. However, people do this. They over tense the arm in lots of ways. So what we're looking to find here is the balance between overstretch, over tension, and what you might call well, I just heard it called educated tension, which doesn't help you a lot, I know, but I'll get there in a second. And this incidentally links with this thing called Peng, P-E-N-G. So what we're going to do is we're going to push a hand out and change whichever one you like. You can keep changing, it doesn't make any difference. So here you push a hand out. Okay, we'll do it in a minute with both hands. But so you're here. Now I want you first of all to really push the hand out, so you over push. Okay, so now your shoulder's gone tense as well. Possibly it's lifted a little bit. All sorts of things happen. And now I want you to completely let it go soggy. At the moment when it's really soggy, nothing is really taking place. Okay, yes, you've engaged your deltoids perhaps to lift the arm up, and a few other muscles here, possibly mainly the deltoid actually, but to hold the arm out here. But the rest is kind of just all soft and not much going on in it. So this is not educated tension. And I'm not sure I like the word tension here. Educate. I don't even like the word stretch. Anyway, it's not educated, let's put it that way. So, so when you're here, what you need to get is you push out, and so it feels as though these joints, 1, 2, and 3, open. Now, that's, again, a difficult feeling to get the hang of if you don't know what to look for. So let's do it with both hands. So you're here. Would you now go really push hard out with both hands? Really, really push. Okay, so you may feel your back's gone a bit tight now, your shoulder blades around there, the tops of your shoulders have gone tight. Okay, now just go soggy. Okay, leave them here, but go soggy. Now everything's kind of disconnected. There's nothing going on. It's like the muscles are hanging like hammocks all over you. Yeah. There's like, and even the arms look like a pair of hammocks, you know, one, two. Yeah. So there's no educated tension or educated stretch going on here. Uh, so what we need is we get the hands in, we get the soggy position. Yeah, get the soggy position. And now what you need to do is you need to feel like you're pushing left and right, but only to the point where the joints feel like they're opening and nothing is tightening up. And this is particularly difficult to get if you're not sure what to look for. So you push out a bit. Okay, so I've just reached it. You see, it wasn't much. I've reached it. Now, incidentally, I can reach it without moving, but that's not really what I'm trying to get you to do at the moment. So maybe a little bit of extension out. Okay, now what's happened for me, and I'll tell you what I'm feeling, and then maybe you can relate it to yourself, and by all means, let your arms rest for a second if you want. What I'm feeling is as though there's an elastic band which is going from this hand across my back to this hand. It's as though I've connected right across through the shoulder blades, through my back, past the spine, and it's like an elastic band which is going across. Notice my hands are not like this. They're slightly forwards. So I've got a slight stretch there, but I've also got a feeling of a very slight stretch over the front. And I can achieve that not by pulling backwards, which is just trying to use stretch. That's all it's using. So what I'm feeling here, okay, so off we go, come back to here if you're not there already. And you go, start close like this. And we're pushing left and right, slightly forwards, maybe 10, 20 degrees forwards. Yeah. And you just push out until you get that stretch across your back. Okay. Okay, just reached it now. Now you'll see my elbows are still bent. I feel like this joint is slightly opened. I feel like this joint is slightly opened, particularly under here, incidentally. And I feel like this one is open. It's as though the joints are separated slightly, a tiny, tiny little bit. And what we're trying to do is so there is a type of tension there, and it's going right across my body from one hand to the other. Whereas if I do this, there, I've now just gone rigid. Rigid and tension, different things. Okay, you want to separate I mean, I know we're talking the use of the language here, and the interpretation of words makes it, you know, linguistically difficult sometimes to transmit what I'm trying to say across through a screen. But we need to get the concept between the difference between rigid and relaxed, but an educated tension. I've got to use that word, I'm afraid. And this is the word the Chinese use, so it's going right the way across. Okay, now then, it goes further than this because I can actually feel that going right down to here. So when I do start here, okay, at the moment, this is all feeling neutral. Now, when I push out, okay, so now it's starting to stretch with the elastic band across. Oh, but it's now connected down my spine and it's now reached my center. So it's gone down to my back and it's reached my center, and I can make it reach your feet as well. So once again, so you're here, just go for it. If you can't feel it, it doesn't matter. So you're here, oh sorry, it starts soft. So push out gently. Okay, nothing's going on here, there's no real connection. Okay, it's just beginning a little bit. Okay, now it's very definitely connected across my back. Okay, now I'm going to think about my spine and feel like that stretch, I'm giving it a tiny bit more. It's now connected to my center. I now drop my bum and it's connected all the way down to my toes, actually, via the heels. And I've got it across my chest. And if I release my neck, it's now gone to the top of my spine, down to the bottom of my spine. And I feel like I've connected energetically the whole system. And the middle of the system is here. Now, whether you consider this the middle dantian or here, the lower dantian, whether you consider this to be the center of your personal solar system or this, doesn't really matter for the moment too much. Or a combination of the two, fine, yeah. So it doesn't really matter. But what we're trying to do here is when we do Jan Zhuang with the standing Qigong, we are trying to achieve that feeling, this interconnection between all parts of the body at the same time.